Hello everyone, you're welcome to my channel. My name is Miria Jomoshe. Today I want to talk about coping with grief. In 2021, May precisely, I had lost my fiance, my daughter's father. This was somebody whom we were talking prior 3 to 4 hours prior to when they called me and gave me the most shocking, unbelievable, and traumatizing news. I died several times when I received that news. I thought it was a joke. I thought there was a mix up somewhere. I thought it was a wrong number. Because how can you tell me that somebody that I just finished talking with just few hours ago was no more? I mean, is that how dead used to be? Although I have lost my younger brother in 2011, so 13 years later, I was faced with another blow of another unbelievable news. This time, my fiance, I went through the 5 stages of grief. I went through denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. This was something that should never happen to anybody. Apparently, my fiance had died on duty. He was a sailor and he had fallen inside, he had drowned, fallen inside the water in the middle of the night. And nobody was there, to rescue him before they find out. Before people could rescue him, he had already drowned. I mean, there was no lifeguards close by, and he was not also with his life jacket. That was a careless death. I I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to start, what to feel. It was as if I was running my. It was as if the ground should open and let me enter. How can you say this person? I won't see this person again. I was in denial. I was like, oh no, there's a mix up somewhere. Or maybe he will call and say, oh, maybe it's a prank, or maybe there was a miracle will happen, and maybe he will get up from a coma, or maybe they will just call and say, oh, madam, it was a prank. We are sorry. I was just having this different thoughts in my head. I was like, oh, no, this can't happen because really, this can't happen. How can you tell me that this person is gone? And I went through anger. I was very angry. I was mad at God. I was angry, like, how? Why me? Why will you allow this kind of thing happen to me? How? What did I not do right? What is it? Like, what? Why? I've served you faithfully. There was nothing I didn't tell God because I blame myself. I was uncontrolled. I was running mad because, I mean, and I believe if God was a human being, if he was a human being, then he would have, taken some privileges from me. He would have said, oh, you this a child. Maybe if I take some privileges for you, you would dare, have dare. Maybe I just think God was saying that, how dare you talk to me in that manner. Do you know why I am? But because God is God and he is faithful and merciful, he knew I was grieving. He knew what I was just saying was out of pain, the the depth of pain in my heart. That was it was out of that abundance that I was speaking. And so I think he understood. I went through bargaining. I was bargaining with God. Please, if you make this a bad dream, or maybe maybe if you make this a prank, or maybe a miracle happens that he gets up, I'm going to preach your word. I'm going to testify in all the churches, name it. I'm going to preach. I'm going to tell people about your name. You can imagine what we do when we are in pain. And I told him all manner of things. Then I went to depression. For 2 good years, I was down. 2 solid year of my life. I was just waking up, sleeping, no ambition, just being stuck. I didn't know how to navigate the season that was tearing at me on my face. How can I go from this point to the next point? What is really happening? How? How can somebody who was alive, hale and hearty, filled with life, gone by the snap of a finger? I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know what to do. I was just crying. I was inconsolable. No, but I didn't know what to feel. Come on. Come on. It's not that our relationship was perfect or maybe it was without a quarreling or what, but I mean, this was a human being. So at that depressing phase of my grieving time, I didn't know. But thank God for loved one because at that time, my mom was around. My families were also around, so they could console, they could, they could render that emotional support. My daughter was always around me, so we could, draw strength from each other. And I could dare to say, oh, let me live for my child. She really needs me. Then I moved from that phase to totally accepting that, oh, so I wake up every day, I look at his things, his phone number is not going, his line called in the mortuary. Oh, so this is really the reality. Till finally that he was buried. I'm like, oh. Now, in the face of acceptance, it's not going to come that easy. It's not going to be something that you are going to accept. Acceptance, you see, that phase of acceptance is going to take a long while. In fact, before you can accept, it will take years for some people. Because you see, grieving is different. People grieve different. Grieving is personal. You grieve differently. And so for some people, maybe it's fast. Because for some, it depends on the bond that these people share. For some people, they move fast, where they claim to move, but inside them, right deep inside them, they grieve. They are still grieving, but they just look as if, oh, yeah, they have everything put together. No, 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 they are still grieving. I don't think you can move on. You can't move on with when you are grieving. You can't move on when you lost somebody. That pain will be there. So whether you try to be strong or whether you come to terms with the new reality, that pain will still be there. And so for anybody who you've lost your child, your loved one, maybe your brother, sister, mother, father, maybe a friend, or maybe a pet. I lost a pet too, and I know what I felt. You see, grieving is not something that you can just wake up and you shove it off. And you say, oh, let me just shove it and wake up and start becoming normal again. No, you can't do that. It's something that will live with you. It's something that will live with you for the longest period. And so nobody can tell you how to grieve. Nobody can tell you, nobody will be able to counsel you how to feel. Well, counseling to an extent might be able to be better, especially if the person had won that shoe. If the person had won that shoe, there's a way that the person is counseling you with that knowledge that okay, I know the counseling, the advice is coming from a place of experience. I've gone through this. And so I understand what this woman is passing through, or what this child, whoever, I understand. So when they are talking to you, they're talking from the place of compassion, the place of understanding. They are not talking out of the place of just imagine what you are going through. And so I feel that's the time that that person will be able to cancel and they will be able to use the right words. And so you can grieve is understandable, but know that it can't go away. You can cry if you want to cry, you can do whatever. And this takes me to how to cope with it, how to cope with your grieving process, how to go about it. Now, you see, this advice I'm giving, or this step I want to say with a help from ChatGPT, it's not something that it's something that it can help you, but it will not totally take away that pain. But it might help you if you give it a try. But it's not going to your healing. Your healing is going to take process. So it's going to take a process over time. Then you'll be healing from what from your pain. And what I did, because I'm talking from a place of my experience. What I did then was, now, one of the things that uh, you can do is, they said, oh, you should allow yourself go through the emotions. Just allow yourself express it. Express what that pain, maybe through crying, through wailing, through just let it out. Don't hold it back. Don't be too matured for your pain. Don't feel, oh, I got this under control. No, you're speaking grammar. You don't have it under control. So allow yourself to express yourself through tears, through whatever that you feel you can have relief. Let yourself go through it. Then another thing is, talk to a friend. Not talking to a friend in particular, talk to somebody you feel comfortable with. Talk to somebody you feel you can be vulnerable with, that will not judge you, will not criticize you, or will understand what you're really going through. In my own time, I was talking to my friend, my girlfriend, because then she will call. I will call her if I need to talk. Then she will call me just to check up on me, and I will cry, and she will console me. And as I said, my family were all around me, and so I could gain that support. Neighbors were always coming. People were just calling me to, you know, um, console me and sympathize with me. And so I could get that support from the candidates and the love from people. That helped me to tell myself, oh, you just have to. That helped me a lot. That helped me a lot. And another thing, they say, take care of yourself. Yes, we understand that this has happened. Yes, this has happened. Don't, maybe just eat. Don't sunk in. Don't stay there for too long. Because let's say if it's a child that died, you have other children. They're looking up onto you. You have to be strong for them. Or maybe if it's whoever that died, other people are there that are also looking up onto you, that you need to be strong to for them. So you just try to see how you can take care of yourself, both physically and try emotionally. Now I'm using the word try because, I mean, as I have said, it's not going to be easy. And so all the things you are doing, you are just trying to have your bath, to dress up, eat, sometimes to sleep. It's not going to be easy, but you have to. If it means you taking drugs, medication to help you sleep, try and take one. Force yourself to eat. Force yourself to take nutrients. Force yourself to pray to whatever higher power you hold dear to. For me it is God and Jesus Christ. I'm a Christian. I believe in God, I believe in Jesus Christ, and I believe in the Bible. So These are things that helped me. For you, it can be anything, but as long as you hold whatever is your superpower or your supreme power, you hold it there and you believe. Hold it. Hold that thing strong and pray to it to help you. So I was praying to God to help me. I was reading His Word to find strength in Him, in it. I was listening to men of God I could relate with their preaching. And so there I could find strength, meaning to what has happened to me. So I didn't give it another meaning. I could say, oh, maybe this is the will of God for me. So when I gave it that meaning, I could find solace to say, oh, he's in a better place. He had gone to rest. He's in a better place. So when I did that, it helped me with my healing process. And so you can also do that, maybe to help. Another thing that say express yourself. Expressing yourself now it's in maybe journaling, painting, singing, maybe through poetry, karaoke night, something that can just divert your attention. Maybe you can also travel to vacations, to places, tourist sites, places that can just help you with your healing process. Instead of always staying indoors, you can go out. You can go to an event, go to events. Just take yourself out so that, I mean, there's a freshness that comes with you going out, mixing out with people, excuse me, mixing out with people. So that will help a lot with your healing. That will help you cope with your grieving process. And another thing is that you should understand, just like I've mentioned before, that you see grieving or grief will not just disappear by the snap of a finger. It will not disappear by you saying, oh, let me just, what's this? I'm bigger than this. No, it can't go away. It will take time. In fact, there was an analogy or analysis of how a psychologist had explained what grief, the process of grief. He painted a black paint in the middle of a white paper and put other colors around that black. The black represents your grief, meaning that another painting was around it, yellow, green, blue, and this stands for, it can be your achievement, the good thing, that milestone that you've covered, the good thing that's happening around you after or during the period of your grieving. All these things didn't cloud the grief. They just were just making the process better. But I mean, the grieving was still there. It didn't wipe it away. It didn't erode it. No, that grief was still there. That black spot was still there. While other things were happening, all the good things were happening, but you will still feel that pain, that grief. That it will still be there for years. You will still feel. So don't 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 be hard on yourself. Don't feel, oh, why? I mean, why is this? Why am I still feeling this thing? Is it not too long? Why all this? No, don't be hard. Just allow yourself. You're going through a process, and allow yourself to go through that healing process. Allow yourself to, heal gradually, gradually. The process might be longer for some people. It depends on the bond that you people share. It depends on what led to the circumstances that led to the death of that person. And so you might feel guilt and a whole lot of negative emotions around you. It's fine. It's okay. But just make that intention Be intentional to heal, if there's any word like that, in grief. But just make effort. The grieving process is different to all everybody. And so for you, my single ladies, maybe single mothers, maybe you being single, maybe you've lost your spouse. That's the reason for you being single. It's okay. Just try to find strength in the memories that you created. And another thing to get you cope with grieving is the memories that you share. That should help you. That memories, and you can also create memories to create something in their memory to help you remember them. For some people, they do some charity work in honor of their loved ones. For some people, they erect statues in honor. Some people, they do something to say, oh, in honor of them. For some people, it can be they go yearly, 6 months, 3 months to drop flower in the tomb of their loved one. For some people can be they can follow maybe the person that passed. There's something here, the tradition that he normally keeps. They will follow. They'll continue doing it in his memory or in her memory, just to ensure that they honor him with that or honor her with that. So it depends. It depends. So whatever you can do to just make this process okay. Because I mean, some people have grief and some people have committed suicide in that process. Some people have grief and they have landed in the hospital, in a psychiatric home. Some people have grief and they have become addicted to drugs. Some people, it has taken them, it has brought out the devil in them. But in all, find strength, try and heal, find something that will make you just understand this process or this thing that had happened. The pain, again, as I said, is excruciating, is traumatizing, is unexplainable. But in all, just know that God loves you. Yeah, God loves you. I know God loves you, and He has a purpose for everything that happened. That's what I just want to say. By the way, my name is Miria Jomushe. I'm a registered nurse, I'm a single mother, and I am a businesswoman. Please, if this has touched you in any way, if you have taken something out of it and you feel somebody needs to hear of it, please share. Please subscribe. I'm new on YouTube. Please help me subscribe so that I will gain visibility. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great evening. I'm actually recording this video. What's the time now? It's 10 p.m. But thank you for your time. Bye.